Hey everybody, welcome back. Everybody should be in therapy, especially these people. I know a great one.
Okay, story time on how my ex-best friend and bridesmaid turned into the villain of my wedding. I got married a year ago, and for my wedding, my bridesmaids got together to throw me a bachelorette party. They decided to split the cost evenly, and one bridesmaid offered to put the accommodations on her credit card. Being the responsible adults that they were, two of the bridesmaids decided to immediately send her their portion of the costs. The bridesmaid who received the money was our villain. Just days after receiving those two payments from the bridesmaids, she informs the group that she's no longer able to use her credit card because her husband won't let her. But she's more than happy to return the funds from whence they came. Another one of the bridesmaids then steps up and says, I'm happy to pay with this on my credit card. You guys just send me your portions. And you, villain bridesmaid, send me the two portions you already received, plus your own. They decide to settle their funds up at the wedding since one of the bridesmaids, the one who is now paying for the accommodations, lives out of the country. When my bachelorette party rolls around, our villain bridesmaid is a no-show. The next day is the wedding rehearsal, and of course she shows. At the wedding rehearsal, the rest of the bridesmaids get together and ask her to please pay back the two portions she's already received, plus her own, because all of this has already been paid for. She insists that she will. She grabs her husband and says she's going to go to the ATM. She leaves to go pick up the money that she's supposed to pay back, but doesn't return.
No!
So the next morning, while everyone's getting ready, she's supposed to be going to the ATM to pick up the money to get to the bridesmaid. Nothing happens.
Oh!
She leaves the wedding early, and nobody gets paid. For a couple of weeks, the bridesmaids go back and forth, insisting that she make this payment. She declines and says that she shouldn't have to pay that much because she didn't even attend the bachelorette party. Unfortunately, this has all been paid for, and now the bridesmaid, who lives out of the country, is out a significant amount of money. Because this girl accepted payments from the other two bridesmaids and didn't want to pay it forward when she didn't end up paying for any of it at all. I didn't happen to know that any of this was happening. None of the bridesmaids wanted to inform me. They wanted to make sure I had like a stress-free wedding, which I did at the time. But once I found out that this bridesmaid had stolen money from the other two bridesmaids, not paid a dime forward, and now my other friend of over a decade was out hundreds of dollars,
Girl,
I was livid.
Yeah.
So I did what any smart would do, and I helped my friend file a civil court case. Now, the civil court case was just to make her pay the amount of money that she owed. My friend would have even been happy with her just paying back the two portions that she had taken from the girls because she obviously had that money. It wasn't hers. But no, she didn't want to hear it. None of the text messages, none of the phone calls, none of the emails, nothing got her to pay this. When she no-shows, the judge rules against her and in favor of the bridesmaid who paid for all the accommodations.
Ooh, tell me she went to jail. Tell me. What in the actual hell? That is absolute, the way, like, how can you even show your face at that wedding? Like, how can you actually show up and not be embarrassed? Does anyone want to see a part two? I definitely do.
When she doesn't show for the first court date, they set another court date to assess whether or not she's made payments like she's been ordered by the court to do. Well, you guessed it, she doesn't show.
No!
And because she doesn't show to the second court date, the court again rules against her and issues a warrant for her arrest.
Ah!
Now, the warrant is meant to bring her to court so that she can explain to the judge why she hasn't shown up for the last two court dates. And honestly, if I were her, I would just hurry up and pay back the money that I owe so that I don't have to go through this. But I'm not her, because I'm not a thief. The one thing I forgot to mention is that throughout owing all of this money to the bridesmaids that she stole from, she also owed me money. I spent about 2 weeks chasing her down and guilting her into paying me back the money that she owed me for paying for her makeup and her hair to get done for the wedding. I stupidly agreed to pay for this for her when she approached me and told me that she wasn't going to have the money ready in time, and I didn't want to make the provider later for whatever they had to do because they were done taking care of us. They need to get paid. I know that she's watching this, and I honestly hope that she reads all the comments and realizes how much of a horrible human being it takes to do something like this. Oh, and I hope you pay back the money, because we're still in court.
How is it so hard? Like, why does it have to get to this point? Just pay them back. Hell to the no. Are you for real? You know, I do know a lot of people like that. And being someone who lends money a lot and pays for things a lot, I encounter it quite a bit, okay? Most of my friends are very, very good about it. The friends that aren't, I'm not really that close with. But when I tell you that it's like, I did you a favor by lending you this money, and you not paying me back is literally just the most, like, just stop. Like, actually stop. If you think that we're gonna be friends after that, you got another thing coming. It's almost like they feel entitled to your money. They take their sweet ass time paying you back, don't they? Sweet time. Why do I even have to ask? A good friend would pay you back without you having to ask. Are you happy to be in Paris? It's so funny because my friend's in Paris right now and she's like, I love Paris. Like, take some public transit, babe. Let's see. Oh God. Listen, performing on public transit, sometimes it's nice. But let's pick a genre that like everybody likes, you know, like less loud. Gen Z makes fun of a road rager after Coachella using TikTok.
Gen Z makes fun of a road rager after Coachella using TikTok.
A road rager.
He's so bad.
Oh, he's not happy. Come on, you're going to Coachella. It's supposed to be fun. They're dancing at me, officer. And the fact that he has nowhere to go and has to just sit through himself getting made fun of. Yeah, my guess is you're probably stuck in a lineup to get into the Coachella. You're not going anywhere, buddy. You just got to take it. This is why it's embarrassing to be a petty driver. If you're a petty driver, you better believe that you got to get away from the person that you're petty toward. Got to be able to escape. Because if you can't...
Not my ex sending me paragraphs 3 days before my wedding.
3 paragraphs? What are you typing? I type this with a carrot. That is an absolutely unhinged response. Oh my God. I kind of want to see what I can make out of that message. Let me see. Because all the leftover feelings of deep love I had for you, I realize now was only me idealizing you, wanting you to be someone that you just aren't. You aren't enough for me. I take marriage so seriously. I would never marry someone I didn't love completely. I would never marry someone just to not feel alone. That's where me and you are very, very different. I feel sorry for that cat girl. Now I'm done. Oh, really? Yeah, that's why you chose to send that message? And you don't have to worry about me ever speaking to you again. You don't exist to me anymore. This is your sign to not send that paragraph.
Put a finger down if 10 years ago your mom was diagnosed with bipolar disorder, but she refused to believe it and has not taken medication. So for the past 10 years, she's been terrorizing you and feeding you trauma for breakfast. So you decide one day that you need to get the heck out of this crazy, toxic household, and your one way to get out is marriage. So you find a nice boy, you start talking to him, and eventually you get engaged. And your mom tries to break off your engagement, not once, but twice. You speed up your wedding process, and during this time, you sit her down and you say, hey mom, if you don't get on medication and get your ish together, I have to stop communicating with you after wedding weekend. And she looks you dead in the eye and she says, do what you want. I'm not going to take medicine. So you say, okay, sis, and you hold up to your end of the bargain. And after wedding weekend wraps up, you slowly start cutting off communication and eventually have to block her on all platforms. Now you're living your best life with your husband and you don't know your mom's whereabouts because you don't keep in touch with her. And as you're getting settled into married life, you start looking for a new home. And you find a home 45 minutes away from your parents because boundaries. As you start settling into your new home, home, your sister calls you crying, saying that she can't live with their parents anymore, and eventually you take her under your wing, and now you, your sister, and your husband are living happily ever after, 45 minutes away from your parents. And as you settle into your house and a couple months go by, you're regaining your mental health, you're getting back on track, and you live in a great environment. So you start going on hot girl walks, and on one of your hot girl walks one day, you notice that a house 5 houses down from you has a sold sign in front of it. And as you walk past it, you see a really familiar van that looks just like your mom's, but you think there's no way. And parked right behind that van is a blue colored car, which looks oddly familiar like your dad's. At this rate, your heart is pounding and you decide to go knock on the door. And once you knock on the door, lo and behold, your dad opens the door. He looks you up and down and there's a moment of silence. He then begins to tell you, oh, we really didn't know how to tell you guys this, but we actually ended up putting a contract on this house and our move-in date is next week. So now your mom lives 5 houses down from you and can terrorize you at any moment. And in fact, she showed up to your house twice unsolicited already.
Why are people just so afraid of therapy? It's great. I love therapy. I'm batshit crazy. I need a therapist. I'm talking to her in a couple of days. It's gonna be great. I'm excited to talk to her and dump all my crap on her. You are the mountain, Charlotte. You're the mountain! Hey, it's okay. Just, I love how we would rather be an unhinged, absolute mess than just to take responsibility for our actions and go to therapy and get some medicine. There is a way to solve all of this. You go to therapy, you heal, and then you heal everybody around you and all the relationships that you messed up, okay? It's not that hard. People are generally pretty forgiving when you apologize. We are forgiving by nature. I know we like to say that we petty and but like, come on, a sincere apology from someone that's hurt us, it goes a long way. She made her pay for the bill on her birthday. Wait.
Yo, it's my birthday. Why would I pay on my birthday? What's the I'm saying? I didn't even get any girls. I paid for it either. Bro, how you out here with a whole Louis Vuitton bag though, ma? I don't care if it's so white. You should never invited me if you don't want to pay for food. Nah, we're covering things. My birthday. My birthday is sponsored. Like, what? Put in. You don't have
Whoa. I'm sorry, but like, if it's gonna be this much of a problem for you to pay for her on her birthday, you're not friends. Why are you sitting next to her?
Go away!
This is your sign to pay people back, okay? Like, I feel like this is a reoccurring theme in this video. If you owe someone money, just pay them back, okay? Just pay them back. And certainly don't be, you know, like, clearly you can afford it. You're at the dinner to begin with. You don't gotta be petty like that. If you can't afford dinner and you can't afford to treat her friend, if you can't afford dinner and you can't afford to treat her, I'm done talking. I'm sorry, I'm livid. I'm triggered. You can tell that I've had lots of issues with stuff like this.
Any of y'all's mouths, there is a rule that says no profanity. There's a city policeman sitting right over there. And I will take any one of y'all to him and y'all will go to juvenile court. Tape record, put it on YouTube, put it wherever you'd like.
Where's this coming from?
He was cussing like a sailor and I asked him not to. And he refused. So I called the city police that he should be ashamed of what he said. And he said his mother didn't care, nor did his dad.
Don't listen to him, he's crazy.
Well,
Go with you. He's just messing with you.
well, I hope his parents see
I have his
it,
mom's number. You want to call
and
her?
I hope she grounds him for eternity. Because you have been served, my man.
Imagine actually wasting police time by calling them and making a complaint about a child that's swearing. Lady, that's not your child. It's not your problem. Not your child. Not your problem.
I'm sorry, back at you. First, thank you. 1 sec. On that side? Yes, do the... But we're still going, so we're fine. Okay.
There's a line building up.
There's so many photo booths in the city. So we have to do one more. I think one photo. Turn out a little bit more.
You know what happened? They saw her taking the photo and they saw that it was a good photo and then they wanted to like jump in. There's no way that this Karen thought it was that good of an idea to take a photo until they saw her taking it. All right, do you guys want some more context? We love some context. I love context. This is my least favorite type of person to encounter. First of all, when I say we're here first, I'm referring to the fact that we got there before them. And then they cut us off and jumped into the booth and Amber was walking up. So we started shooting from the other side and she asked us to move because we were in their stupid picture and she wanted to capture it with no one in the background. So I respectfully did and she took 15 minutes to get one picture of her husband. I asked if we could jump in for a few because Amber was literally in her leotard and it was freezing out. After 8 minutes, she starts freaking out because she now wanted a photo of herself since her husband got one. Like, girl, I already moved once for you. Be freaking for real. If you didn't spend so long on your husband's picture, you could have gotten some before I jumped in. So much audacity. It wasn't about the picture. It was about something else. Some people just really don't like watching other people live their best lives. It really bothers them.
Oh my God, someone around this family needs the Don Megan to help them flush the toilet, Josie. There was a big caca in the toilet. I know it was you. It was my mom.
Don't tell the Karen from a couple videos ago about this girl.
Because you have been served, my man.
We should all start saying the word caca more. I haven't called it a caca in a minute. Speaking of caca, I gotta go. Subscribe!